The command center of Station Meridian 7 was cold and quiet. Commander Teo stood before the large window that looked down at Earth, the blue planet turning slowly below them. He had waited his whole life for this moment. Humanity was about to meet another intelligent species from the stars, and he would be the first one to shake their hand. His heart beat faster with excitement and fear at the same time. "They are arriving in 10 minutes, sir," said Jiwoo from behind him. She was young, smart, and nervous. Her fingers moved quickly over the buttons on her desk, checking systems again and again. Everyone on the station felt the weight of this day. Teo turned away from the window. He was a tall man with kind eyes and a steady voice. He had trained for years to lead this team. He knew that what happened today would change everything for Earth. One wrong word, one small mistake, could mean war or peace for all humanity. "Make sure everything is perfect," Teo said. "We have one chance to show them who we are." The Valorian ship appeared on the screens like a dark star. It was massive, longer than a mountain, covered with strange lights that blinked in patterns no human could understand. The ship moved smoothly through space, not like human ships that pushed and pulled against the void. This ship seemed to flow through space like water. Teo took a deep breath. He walked to the meeting room where his team waited. There was Captain Yoon Kyung, the station commander with a sharp mind and sharper eyes. There was Park Min-soo, the best fighter on the station, who Teo had asked to stay quiet and let the diplomats do the talking. There was Sung Jae, an older man who had studied alien languages and cultures for 30 years. He was the smartest person Teo knew. "They dock in 5 minutes," Teo told them. "Everyone knows what to do. We are ready. We are strong. We are peaceful. That is what we show them." The docking area filled with loud sounds as the alien ship locked into place. Steam and strange gases poured out as the doors opened. Then they came. The Valorians were not monsters, but they were not human. They stood 8 feet tall, their skin a deep purple color that seemed to shift in the light. They had long arms and hands with 6 fingers each. Their eyes were black without any white, like looking into space itself. They wore clothes that seemed to be made of metal, but metal that moved and bent like cloth. There were 10 of them, and they moved like soldiers, not like visitors. Crix was at the front. He was bigger than the others, and his skin was a darker purple, almost black. His eyes looked at the humans with something that might have been curiosity or might have been hunger. Teo could not tell. "I am Commander Teo. Welcome to Station Meridian 7, Teo said, moving forward slowly. He kept his hands open and empty to show he had no weapons. "We are happy to meet you. Earth is honored by your presence." Crix did not move. He looked at Teo like the human was an interesting bug he had found on a rock. "I am Diplomat Crix of the Valorian Collective. We have come to offer your world a choice. You can join us, give us what we need, and live as part of our community. Or you can say no, and we will take what we need anyway." He spoke in perfect English, which made Sung-jae's eyes go wide. They had translated it somehow. The words were not friendly, but they were clear. Teo nodded slowly. "We would like to talk about what a peaceful agreement might look like. We have much to offer Earth. We have culture, art, knowledge. We have—" "Silence," Crix said. His voice was like stone falling. "You will speak only when we ask you to speak." Behind Crix, one of his soldiers suddenly moved. He was pointing his long arm at something. One of the other Valorians raised some kind of weapon. Everyone in the room froze. "What is that?" Crix's voice was sharp like ice. Teo looked where they were pointing. His heart fell. The docking bay door behind them was open just a crack. Something small and orange had squeezed through, moving on 4 legs toward the Valorians. It was Tiger, a cat who lived somewhere in the station. No one knew exactly where he came from. He was orange and striped, with yellow eyes that looked at nothing and everything all at once. Tiger did not understand that these were aliens from space. Tiger did not understand that this was the most important day in human history. Tiger only understood that there was a door open and something interesting to explore. The cat walked straight toward the Valorians, his tail held high. He did not seem scared at all. "What is this creature?" one of the Valorians said. His voice sounded confused. "Our database does not recognize this life form." Jiwoo, standing behind Teo, whispered, "Uploading information now." "The database should—" "Miniature tiger," the Valorian said slowly, reading from something Teo could not see. "Severe attitude problem, extremely dangerous, unpredictable, will attack without reason." That was not true. Tiger was just a normal cat. But Teo did not have time to argue because Tiger had now reached Crix's legs. The cat looked up at the alien diplomat. Then Tiger did what cats do sometimes. He sat down, looked at Crix directly and meowed. It was not a friendly meow. It was a demanding meow. The kind of meow that meant, "Why are you in my space?" Crix stepped back. "The creature is challenging me. It shows no respect for my status." Tiger stood up and walked between Crix's legs, rubbing against them and leaving orange fur on the alien's metal clothes. Then Tiger walked to another Valorian and did the same thing. He was not being mean. He was just being a cat, curious and independent, doing what he wanted to do. But the Valorians did not understand cats. "It is attacking us," one of them said. "Its claws. It is trying to hurt us." Teo tried to speak. "No, the animal is just—" "Capture it," Crix said coldly. Two Valorians moved fast. They tried to grab Tiger. The cat, not pleased with being grabbed by strange purple giants, did what any cat would do. He hissed, loud and angry. His back arched up like a bridge. He lashed out with his claws. Tiger's claw caught Crix across the face. The Valorian diplomat staggered back. Bright blue blood dripped down his cheek where Tiger's small claw had cut him. The room went completely silent. Crix looked at his own blood. Then he looked at Tiger. The cat stared back at him with yellow eyes that showed no fear, no respect, and no understanding of what had just happened. Tiger had simply protected himself. "This is an insult," Crix said, his voice quiet and dangerous. "Your creature has drawn Valorian blood. This is a violation of diplomatic protocol. We came to speak of joining our civilization. Instead, you attack us with your animals." "Sir, that was just—" Park Min-soo started to say, but Teo raised his hand. He understood. Whatever he said now would not matter. Crix turned to face Teo directly. "We will give you 48 hours to prepare your world for occupation. If you resist, we will destroy your cities. If you accept, we will allow your people to serve us. You have 1 day and 2 nights to make your choice." He turned and walked toward his ship, his soldiers following behind him. One of them was still holding Tiger, who was meowing and struggling. The alien dropped the cat on the ground. Tiger jumped down and ran back toward the docking bay, disappearing into the shadows. The Valorian ship disconnected from the station with a sound like thunder. Then it pulled away, moving back into space, the strange lights blinking on and off as it went. Teo stood in the sudden quiet. 48 hours. That was how long humanity had to save itself. Behind him, he heard Sung Jae say very quietly, "Did a cat just start a war?" The emergency meeting room filled with people running in different directions. Voices talked over each other. Some people were scared. Some were angry. Everyone was confused. Teo sat at the head of the long table and said nothing. He was thinking. Around him, his team tried to figure out what to do. "We cannot fight them," Captain Yun Kyung said, her voice hard and clear. "Our weapons are nothing compared to their technology. They could destroy our cities from space. We would not even be able to hurt them." "Then we surrender," someone said. "We join them and live as servants." "That is not living," Park Min-soo said, his hands making fists. That is dying slowly. I say we fight anyway. We die as humans, not as slaves. Teo closed his eyes. He understood both ideas, but neither one would save Earth. There had to be something else, something they had not thought of yet. We need to understand what happened, Sung Jae said quietly. The old man had been sitting in the corner, not saying much. Now everyone turned to listen. That creature, that cat, it made them afraid. Did you see how Karik stepped back? Did you see how uncertain the others looked? Ji-woo leaned forward. They are a warrior species. They conquer worlds. A small animal should mean nothing to them, but they acted like it was dangerous. Because they did not understand it, Sung Jae said. Their database could not explain it. A cat that shows no fear of them. A creature that does not bow to their power. It confused them, maybe even scared them a little bit. Teo opened his eyes. You think we can use the cat as some kind of weapon? Not as a weapon, Sung Jae said, as a message. We are not so different from them if we can create something so independent, so confident, so unafraid of authority. Maybe that tells them something about us. Something they need to understand. Park Min-soo made a sound like a laugh, but it was not a happy laugh. We are going to save humanity by showing them a cat. That is crazy. Do you have a better idea? Teo asked. No one answered. Find the cat, Teo said. We need to study it. We need to understand why it behaves the way it does. Ji-woo, I need you and your team to look at everything. How does it move? How does it think? What makes it so independent? Sung Jae, you study their culture. Maybe there is something in Valorian history that explains why they would react so strongly to an animal like this. Park Min-soo stood up. I will help you find the cat. If we are going to use it, we need to make sure it does not run away at the wrong moment. They found Tiger 3 hours later in the storage section of the station. He was eating leftover fish from the kitchen, completely unaware that he had almost started a war. He was just a regular orange cat with white whiskers and a pink nose. There was nothing special about him. That was what made him perfect. Dr. Hae-in arrived that evening. She was the smartest scientist Teo knew. She studied how animals and people behaved. She had thick glasses and always looked like she was thinking about 3 different things at the same time. When she saw Tiger, she did something strange. She sat down on the floor. What are you doing? Park Min-soo asked. I am learning, Hae-in said. She did not move or try to pick up the cat. She just watched. Tiger walked around her slowly, sniffing. Then, when the cat decided that she was okay, Tiger rubbed his head against her arm. Interesting, Hae-in said. For 2 days, Dr. Hae-in studied Tiger. She watched everything he did. She wrote notes about how he moved, how he played, how he ate, how he slept. She noticed that Tiger did not follow orders. He did what he wanted. But he also noticed people. He remembered who was kind to him. He remembered who gave him food. He understood the world on his own terms. The Valorians are wrong, Hae-in said finally. She showed her notes to Teo. This cat is not dangerous, but he is unpredictable. He does not follow hierarchies. He does not understand who is powerful and who is not. He treats the station commander and the cook with the same attitude. He does what he wants, when he wants, because he is confident in who he is. That probably seems very strange to them. How can we use that? Teo asked. You show them that their way of understanding power is not the only way, Hae-in said. You show them that a tiny creature can stand up to a giant alien and feel no fear. Maybe it makes them question things. Maybe it makes them think. Ji-woo had been working on something else. She had recorded every second of the meeting with Kirix. She watched it over and over. She noticed small things. The way Kirix's eyes changed when the cat did not show fear. The way the other Valorians looked at each other when they could not understand the animal's behavior. The way their confidence seemed to crack. Just a little bit. When something did not fit their understanding of how the universe worked. They are logical, Jiwoo told Teo. They understand power, strength, numbers, but they do not understand freedom. They do not understand choosing your own path just because you want to. The cat makes all their logic fail. Sung-jae came to Teo with something different. He had been researching old Valorian communications, messages they had sent to other civilizations they had conquered. He had found something interesting in the way they talked about those other species. The Valorians respect what they can understand, Sung-jae explained. When they come to a new world, they look for hierarchy. They find the strongest leader, the biggest army, the most powerful weapons. Then they defeat them and take over. It is like a game they have played for thousands of years. It always works the same way. But a creature that does not fit into that game, a creature that is strong in a way they cannot measure, that confuses them. It might even make them doubt themselves. Teo looked at Tiger, who was sleeping on a soft chair. The cat's chest moved up and down slowly. His whiskers moved slightly. He had no idea that he was important. He had no idea that his very nature might be what saved humanity. We will show them the cat again, Teo decided. But we will not try to control it or explain it. We will let Tiger be exactly what he is. We will let them see that Earth creates beings that cannot be controlled, that do not respect authority just because it is powerful, that live free. Maybe that is enough to make them think about whether they really want to attack us. And if it does not work? Park Min-soo asked. Then we try something else, Teo said. But at least we tried. They had only 36 hours left before the Valorians' deadline. Teo knew that this plan was strange and maybe even crazy, but sometimes the craziest ideas were the only ones that could work. As he watched Tiger sleep, peaceful and independent, Teo felt something he had not felt since the Valorians left. He felt hope. The meeting room had been changed. 2 hours before the Valorians arrived, Teo's team had built a simple space in the center of the room. There was a climbing structure made from wood and rope. There was a small table with food and water. There were toys, boxes, and places to hide. It looked like nothing important. It was designed to look that way. Teo stood to the side with Jiwoo, watching the final preparation. His stomach felt tight. Everything came down to this moment. If this failed, Earth had nothing left to try. "Tiger is ready," Dr. Hayin said. She was holding the cat, who seemed calm. That was good. A nervous cat would show them nothing. "He has eaten. He is in a good mood. He will be himself. That is all we need." "Will the Valorians understand what we are trying to show them?" Jiwoo asked. "I do not know," Teo admitted. "But Sung-jae says it is worth trying. Sometimes understanding comes from showing, not from saying." The Valorian ship arrived exactly on time. It was always like this with them, Sung-jae had explained. Everything was organized, planned, structured. Nothing was spontaneous or wild. They moved through the universe like a machine, following rules and plans made long ago. Kurix entered first. His face still showed the marks where Tiger had scratched him. The bright blue skin had healed, but the lines were visible. Behind him came 10 soldiers and 3 others who looked different. These 3 wore different clothes and moved differently. One was Ko-ran, a scientist. She was shorter than the soldiers, and her skin was a lighter purple. Her eyes moved quickly, noticing everything. "I see you have called another meeting," Kurix said. His voice was cold. "I wonder if you have decided to make this easy and surrender now, or if you want to waste more time." "We wanted to show you something about Earth," Teo said, "about our civilization, about what makes us different from the worlds you have seen before." Kurix made a sound like stone grinding on stone. It might have been laughter. "Show me. I will not wait long." Dr. Hay-In opened her hands and released Tiger. The cat jumped down and landed on the ground with a soft sound. He looked around the new space with interest. He had no idea there were aliens watching him. He had no idea this moment was important. He only knew that there was an interesting place to explore. Tiger walked to the climbing structure and began to climb it. He was slow and careful, testing each piece of wood before putting his full weight on it. His claws gripped and held. His body moved with perfect balance. He reached the top, looked around, and then jumped down to a lower level. He was playing. He was being himself. "What is this?" one of the Valorian scientists asked. Koran, the one with lighter skin, was watching very carefully. Her eyes moved with Tiger as the cat moved. "This is a creature from Earth called a cat," Sung-jae said. He spoke slowly and clearly. "On Earth we have many creatures. Some are large, some are small. Some are strong and some are weak. This cat is small. He has no weapons. He could not hurt any of you if he wanted to. But look at how he moves. Look at his confidence." Tiger had found a box and had decided to sit in it. His head sticked out of the top. He was looking at the Valorians now, studying them just as much as they were studying him. The cat did not look afraid. He did not look impressed by their size or their power. He simply looked curious. "Your database was wrong about this creature," Teo said. "It is not dangerous. It is not trying to attack. It is simply being what it is, independent, fearless, following its own nature, not the rules of someone stronger." Carix watched without moving. His black eyes did not change, but one of his soldiers stepped forward and tried to grab Tiger. The cat, not pleased with being grabbed, did exactly what he had done before. He hissed, he twisted, he used his claws to push away. He did not fight to win, he just fought to be left alone. The Valorian released him immediately, surprised. "It attacked again," one of them said. "No," Koran said. She stepped forward and the other Valorians moved back. "It defended itself. There is a difference." She was looking at Tiger with something that looked like understanding. "This creature does not know about power structures. It does not care about authority. When it is touched, it responds. That is all." Tiger, now free, walked over to Koran. The scientist stood very still. The cat looked up at her. For a long moment, the alien and the cat regarded each other. Then Tiger did something unexpected. He allowed Koran to pet him. The scientist's six-fingered hand moved slowly over the cat's orange fur, and Tiger purred. The sound surprised the Valorians. They had no sound like it in their language. "What is that noise?" Koran asked. "It is contentment," Dr. Hay-In said. "The cat is pleased. He is showing that he is happy." Koran's hand stopped. "This creature accepts care from us, even though we are powerful, even though we tried to control it?" "Because you are being kind," Teo said. "The cat does not understand conquest or power. He only understands kindness and respect for his independence. He responded to your gentleness." Sung-jae stepped forward now. This was the important part. This was what they had planned. "On Earth, we have many such creatures. We care for them. We protect them. They have no use to us. They do not work for us. They do not provide food or resources. We care for them simply because we believe all life has value. Simply because we can create connection with them." Carix made a sound. It might have been anger. "This is meaningless. You are showing me an animal. This does not change anything. Your world will still fall. Your people will still serve us. I will give you one final hour to prepare for invasion. After that, we destroy everything." But Koran was not listening to Carix anymore. She was watching Tiger. The cat had decided that Koran was acceptable and had jumped up into her arms. He was purring, completely at peace. The Valorian scientist held him carefully, studying his face, his paws, his movements. One of the other scientists, Yan He, moved closer. "Commander, look at the biological readings. This creature has a very complex neural structure. The brain is small, but advanced. There is something here we do not understand." "It is just a cat," Kirik said. But his voice was less certain now. Teo pushed forward with the final message. "We are showing you this because we want you to understand something about Earth. You measure strength in weapons and soldiers and conquest. But we measure strength in different ways. We measure it in creativity, in art, in the ability to connect with other beings, in the choice to value life even when it does not benefit us. That is what this creature represents. Not weakness, a different kind of strength." Koran was still holding Tiger. The cat reached up and touched her face with one paw, very gently. The alien's breathing changed. Something was happening inside her. Something was shifting. "This animal," Koran said slowly, "chooses to trust us. Not because we are powerful, not because we forced it, but because it decided we were safe. It decided we were worth trusting." She looked at Kirix. "When was the last time anyone chose to trust us for those reasons?" Kirix did not answer. He turned and walked toward the door. "You have 1 hour. Prepare yourselves." But as he left, Teo could see something had changed. Behind Kirix, some of the soldiers and scientists looked at Tiger differently now. Koran continued to hold the cat, refusing to give him back. Yanhi was taking detailed readings, her mind clearly working on something. Teo did not know if this had worked, but he could see that the wall they had built around themselves, the absolute certainty that they were superior, had developed a small crack. And sometimes, the smallest crack was all you needed. The message came through an old secret channel that Jiwoo had almost forgotten about. It was a channel used for emergency communications between stations. The signal was weak and hidden. Koran had somehow found it. "Do not respond out loud," the message said. "We are being watched, but I need you to listen carefully. You have opened something in our minds. Kirix knows something has changed, and it makes him angry. He is moving faster now. The invasion will begin in 22 hours, not 24. But some of us are beginning to question." Teo and his team sat in a small room with no windows, listening to Koran's voice through an old speaker. No one had used this channel in 5 years. "The creature, the cat," Koran continued. "I have been studying it. I have been looking at our own history, at our own culture. We were not always this way. The Valorian collective did not always conquer. There was a time when we explored, when we learned, when we valued knowledge over power. Something changed us. Something made us believe that strength meant control. Kirix and the old generals, they have made us into this. But not all of us believe in this way anymore." Sung Jae leaned forward. "She is saying there is division among them." "There is more," Koran said. "Yeonhee, the scientist who studied your cat with me. She has discovered something. She is sending you information now, files, data. We are taking a risk doing this. If we are discovered, we will be arrested or worse. But Yeonhee believes the information is important. She believes it will help you understand us. Help you save your world without us having to destroy it." The transmission ended. But Jiwoo's screens began filling with information. Files, blueprints, scientific data, everything about Valorian technology, everything about their ships, everything about how their power worked. "This is incredible," Jiwoo whispered. "With this information, we could actually have a chance." "No," Sung Jae said. His old voice was very quiet. "That is not what this means." Everyone looked at him. "Koran is not giving us weapons," Sung Jae said. "She is giving us understanding. She is showing us that they are not machines. They are not unthinking conquerors. They are people who have choices, just like we do. She is asking us not to fight. She is asking us to reach out to the ones who are already changing their minds. Park Min-soo made a fist. So we are just supposed to trust them? They could be leading us into a trap. Maybe, Sung-jae said. Or maybe they are taking the biggest risk of their lives. Maybe they are betting their lives on the idea that humans are worth saving, worth changing for. Teo was quiet. He was thinking about Tiger. The cat had changed Ko-ran with just his presence, with his simple independence. What if there were other Valorians who could be changed the same way? What if the real strength of humanity was not weapons or technology, but the ability to inspire others to want to be better? We need to reach out to them, Teo said finally. We need to show Ko-ran that we understand what she is trying to do. We need to make her feel like her risk is not alone. Sung-jae nodded. I will compose a message, something that will reach Ko-ran and Yeon-hee and anyone else who is questioning, something that shows them we see them, that we believe in them. For the next 4 hours, Sung-jae worked on the message. He used language that referenced Valorian history, their earliest beliefs about exploration and knowledge. He quoted philosophers and scientists from their own culture, people who had believed in progress through understanding, not through conquest. He painted a picture of what Earth could offer them, not as a conquered world, but as a partner, a friend. What we offer you, Sung-jae's message said, is something your civilization may have lost, purpose that comes from creation, not from domination. We have animals that we care for even though they cannot serve us. We create art even though it does not feed us. We love even though it makes us vulnerable. These things seem weak to you. But look at the cat. It has almost no strength compared to you. Yet it taught your scientists something. It made Ko-ran see kindness in a new way. What if an entire civilization could teach you that? What if we could show you that the universe is not about winning and losing, but about connecting and growing? He sent the message through the secret channel. Then they waited. The response came 18 hours later. Ko-ran's voice was rushed, excited, almost like she was afraid someone might hear her. It worked, she said. The message has spread. Many of us have read it. Many are discussing it. Yeon-hee and I have been working with others. Scientists mostly, and some of the younger soldiers. We are building something. A coalition, not against Kirix, but for change. We are going to call an emergency session of the High Council. It is an ancient procedure. It has not been used in 200 years, but it is still in our laws. Anyone can call for a council review of any commander's decisions if there is proof of poor judgment. What proof do you have? Teo asked, speaking into the communicator for the first time. That you are not conquered yet, Ko-ran said with something that sounded like a laugh. Kirix ordered the invasion to happen, but his own soldiers are questioning him. His own scientists are asking questions. A good commander should have prepared you better. A good commander should have won by now. The fact that he is rushing, that he is angry, that he is making poor decisions because of a cat, that shows poor judgment. The council will have to hear us. When? Teo asked. Soon, Ko-ran said. But you need to understand something, Commander Teo. Even if we succeed, even if we get the council to hear us, Kirix may still decide to invade. He may decide that his pride is more important than following the council's rules. We could end up with conflict between our own people. That could be worse for everyone. Then we need a way to show him that surrender is better than fighting, Teo said. We need to show him something that will make him choose wisdom over pride. Sung-jae was standing next to Teo. He leaned over and whispered something. Teo's eyes got wide. That is crazy, he said. Yes, Sung-jae said. But so is everything else we have done. Teo spoke back into the communicator. Ko-ran, we have an idea. It is strange, and it may not work. But if you are willing to take this risk with us, there might be a way to save everyone. No conquest, no invasion, no war between your people. Just change." Koran was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "Tell me the idea." As Teo explained the plan, he could almost see the expression on the Valorian scientist's face. Surprise, doubt, then slowly, understanding. "It could work," Koran said finally. "The symbolism is perfect. The message would be clear, but Curix will feel it as the greatest insult." "Then he will have to choose," Teo said. "Accept the insult and show wisdom, or refuse and show that his pride is bigger than his duty to his people. Either way, the council will see him for what he really is." "I will prepare the council for this," Koran said. "And Teo, thank you. Thank you for believing that there were Valorians worth saving." The message ended. Teo looked at his team. "Now we wait." The Valorian ship moved into attack position. Curix had given his final order. In 6 hours, the bombardment would begin. Earth's cities would burn. Humanity would either surrender completely or cease to exist. Teo watched the Valorian ship move through the screens. It was beautiful in a terrible way. All that power, all that purpose directed toward destruction. His hands felt cold. "The council meeting is happening now," Jiwoo said. She was monitoring all the Valorian communications. There was so much activity, so many messages being sent. The internal conflict was starting. Inside the Valorian ship, Koran stood before the High Council. They were ancient beings, older than Curix by hundreds of years. They had seen empires rise and fall. They had guided the Valorian people through countless changes. But they had also allowed Curix to lead them deeper into conquest and control. They had been slow to stop it. They had been afraid of what change might mean. Koran presented her case. She showed them the cat. Not the real cat, but recordings of it. She showed them how it had behaved, how it had shown no fear, how it had made them question their understanding of strength. She showed them messages from humans, messages that quoted their own ancient philosophers and historians. She showed them proof that Curix was moving faster than his orders allowed, that he was angry, that his judgment was clouded by pride. "The Valorian collective was not built on conquest alone," Koran said, her voice steady and clear. "We were built on discovery, on knowledge, on the belief that understanding other civilizations made us stronger. This human world has something we have forgotten. They have something worth learning from. If we destroy them, we destroy the chance to grow." One of the council members spoke. He was very old, his skin almost white with age. "And what do you propose, Koran?" "A trial," Koran said. "A period of exchange instead of conquest. Let us learn from them. Let them learn from us. If after 1 year this is not beneficial, we can reconsider. But we should not destroy what we do not understand." Curix was also before the council. He felt his power slipping. He could feel the doubt in the room. "This is weakness," he said loudly. "This is exactly what I warned against. Soft thinking. Soft creatures making us soft. We are the Valorian collective. We do not negotiate. We do not question. We take what we need and move forward." "And yet," the old council member said slowly, "the creature you encountered showed more confidence in itself than you are showing now. The cat had no power. It was small. It was alone. Yet it feared nothing. It did not need to prove itself by attacking. It simply was. Perhaps that is the strength we have lost." Curix's face turned darker. His hands made fists. "If you do not stand with me, you are traitors to our people. If you cannot accept the council's wisdom, you are unfit to lead," the old member said simply. "We are implementing a recall order. You will return to the homeworld immediately for inquiry into your decisions. The invasion of Earth is postponed indefinitely." The room exploded with sound. Carix's soldiers began to argue with the council's guards. The older Valorians moved between them, their voices carrying authority that had not been questioned in generations. But it worked. The soldiers, confused and uncertain, stopped fighting. They had been raised to obey authority, and the High Council was the highest authority. They stood down. Carix left the council chamber with rage burning in his eyes. He would return to his ship. He would follow the council's order because refusal would mean war with his own people. But his anger burned like a dark star inside him. He was going to make one final move before he left. On the station, Teo received the communication. Koran's voice was fast and worried. "He is coming back to the station. He is coming to see you. He is still angry, but he has lost his authority to attack. Be careful. A wounded animal is more dangerous than a healthy one." Teo prepared the meeting room. He told his team to stay hidden. He told them that if anything went wrong, they should protect Tiger above all else. The cat was now Earth's greatest ambassador. The cat had to survive. Crix arrived with only 5 soldiers. No weapons drawn, but hands ready. The Valorian diplomat was a sight to see. His purple skin seemed darker. His eyes seemed to burn. The scratch marks from Tiger were bright against his face. "You did this," Carix said. He was not shouting, but his voice held the weight of deep anger. "You made them see weakness as strength. You confused them." "We showed them truth," Teo said calmly. "We showed them that strength comes in many forms." "I am still taking your cat," Carix said suddenly. "I am still leaving this station with that creature. The council said I cannot invade. They said I must return. But they did not say I had to leave your cat behind. It is a prize of war. The agreement is still valid." Teo's heart stopped. He had not planned for this. From somewhere in the station, Tiger meowed. The sound was loud and clear, a demand, an insult. The cat had heard Carix's voice and had responded with pure disrespect. Carix's eyes went to the door. In the hallway, Tiger appeared. The orange cat walked straight toward the Valorian diplomat. He did not run. He did not hide. He simply walked forward, his tail held high, his yellow eyes fixed on Crix's face. "We are done here," Carix said. He turned to grab the cat. Tiger did what Tiger always did. He stood his ground. When the massive alien reached down, the cat did not back away. Instead, he hissed. He arched his back. He raised his claws. But this time, something different happened. Koran appeared in the doorway. Behind her was Yeon-hee and 3 other Valorian scientists. They were not soldiers. They were not guards. But they were there. "I am staying on Earth," Koran said. "The council has accepted my request. Yeon-hee is staying as well. We are here as researchers and liaisons, which means that creature is now under the protection of the Valorian research team." Crix stared at her. "You betray me?" "I choose the future over your past," Koran said. She walked forward and picked up Tiger. The cat settled into her arms calmly. "This creature has taught me something important, Carix. Independence is not weakness. Standing alone is not weakness. A creature so small, so powerless in your eyes, yet so completely itself, so completely unafraid. That is strength you cannot measure with weapons." Carix's hand shook. He could kill Koran right here. He could take the cat by force. But behind Koran were cameras recording everything. Behind her were witnesses. Behind her was the collective will of a people who were tired of conquest and ready for change. He lowered his hand. "You will regret this," he said to Koran. Then he turned to Teo. "Your world has been given a chance. Do not waste it." The Valorian diplomat walked back to his ship with his soldiers. The massive vessel detached from the station and began to move away. As it accelerated, a message came through to Teo from Koran's personal communicator. "We did it," she said simply. He is leaving. The invasion is over. Earth is safe. Teo looked at Tiger, now sitting in Koran's arms, purring loudly. The cat had no idea what had happened. He had no idea that his simple act of being himself, of showing no fear, of standing alone with complete confidence, had changed the course of history. He was just a cat. But he was a cat that had taught an empire something about what real strength truly was, and that, Teo thought, was the most powerful thing of all.